is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to express great concern on behalf of our children and our grandchildren who are going to bear the burden of this expansion of our national debt. Today, we're going to vote on the 6th increase in the debt limit in the past 2.5 years. After today, we will have added $4 trillion to the government credit limit. Who's going to pay this bill? Congress must address the root of this debt limit increase. It's the spending. I want to point to a chart here that the President the other night came and talked to us about his spending freeze. So here is the impact of the freeze on spending. I know it's a little hard to tell, but if you look real close, you see that with you get a 49.27% growth in spending without the freeze, but with the freeze, you get a 49.01% increase in spending. It's a gimmick. This whole pay-go thing is a sham. We just had a gentleman in New York that was doing a kind of a sham transaction, and he's probably going to, in fact, he is in prison for a Ponzi scheme. That's what this whole situation is a Ponzi scheme. Because what we're doing is we're borrowing and spending and borrowing and spending. We're borrowing the money that we're going to make the interest payments on the debt that we already have. And what do the Democrats want to do? They want to borrow some more money. If you are serious about spending, as I offered 2 amendments yesterday to the Rules Committee that would have put some caps on spending, would have been again to decelerate the growth of government. Did those rules, are they eligible to be considered on this floor today? No, they were denied. You see, if we keep putting off and playing this Ponzi scheme game, we're going to keep running up the debt for our children and our grandchildren. What does pay-go really mean? The pay-go vote that we're going to have, it means the American people get to pay and the Democrats get to go spending, taxing, and borrowing just like they've been doing since they took control of this House 3 years ago. But they want you to think today that they have brought some real reform to this body. We passed pay-go in 2007. Guess what we've done since we've passed pay-go? We've raised the debt limit 5 times. And in fact, in 1998, of the bills that came across this floor, 98% of the time pay-go was either waived or exempted from that. And as the gentleman pointed a while ago, and I appreciate him doing that, a majority of the text of this bill isn't about how we're going to cut spending. It's about the things that we're going to waive that aren't going to be subject to pay-go. So if we're serious about cutting spending in this country because we're serious about this debt, then why aren't we taking steps that really are going to address spending? The reason that they don't want to address spending is they don't intend to cut spending. They intend to raise taxes. I encourage my colleagues to vote against the rule.
The gentleman from Massachusetts.